Morning, everybody. Today's a drive day. We are headed from Salt Lake City to Yellowstone. So right now we are somewhere in Idaho. The country is beautiful here, the travel is really nice, and I am doing what I do when I'm not driving, editing videos. Let me say hi.
After about 5 hours, we arrived at the west entrance of Yellowstone National Park. This was a stop that all of us had been looking forward to. Our first impression of the park was during the hour-and-a-half drive from the entrance to our campground, and it did not disappoint. At Fishing Bridge RV Park, the only place in the park with full hookups.
So we made it to Yellowstone. It was a nice drive today, and the last hour and a half was gorgeous because it was just driving through the park. Absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to see the rest of it tomorrow. We're just setting up camp now, and we're gonna make some dinner and hang out. At our dinner, we're gonna go for a little walk and check out some of the Yellowstone around our campground.
Yo, there's a log right there.
Baby 50s? Come on, Lane, dip your feet in. Let us know how cold it is.
Oh my god. Girlfriend right there.
The next day, we toured as much of the park as we could fit into one day. We drove around 200 miles that day to see Old Faithful, Grand Prismatic Springs, Mammoth Springs, and the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. After spending the last 2 weeks on the road, the last thing we wanted to do was drive more, but it was well worth it.
I'm looking all around the other side of that forest.
Old Faithful was obviously a necessary stop, but it wasn't nearly as thrilling as we expected it to be.
You had a hard time there, Mom?
Grand Prismatic, on the other hand, was freaking awesome. The colors were way more vibrant than we were expecting. The heat coming off the spring was so cool. Pictures and video just do not do it justice. Our favorite part of the whole day was just driving around the park. The variety of the ecosystem is amazing. As a science teacher, it was great to see the change in ecosystem from dense forest to grassland and to see all the wildlife in those areas. We saw dozens of bison. They were grazing at a distance, then on the side of the road, some even crossing the road. When we got back to the campsite that night, there was even one in our way to get back to our site. There's a bison
on our road to our campground. That's what we do. We wait for him to move.
Like, he's where we need to be.
We let Mr. Bison take his time. Oh, they don't care. They're just gonna go. Past.
We're going up this road.
We're going up that road.
We need to go up the far road,
I guess,
which is where he is.
I guess we start going towards him and maybe
Are you
he'll...
shitting me?
Are you stupid? Well, that's what they did on the other road.
What if he charges the f***ing car?
I don't know.
I say
Maybe
we back up and we go the other way.
They're all one ways.
I'll go up this road and we'll go around to our campsite.
Yeah. Bison right there. Bison in our road to our campground. Look at him. He's huge.
He wants a hug.
I don't think he does.
Look how cute he is.
I don't think he wants a hug. Try. Holy hell. Oh my god.
We also saw deer, elk, moose, and bears. We caught a glimpse of 2 black bears, 1 brown bear, and a grizzly. It seemed like every time we took a turn, the park got more incredible. The scope of everything there is so huge.
It's on, like, concrete
Oh my god.
Oh man, that's gorgeous.
That just keeps getting better.
Holy
Oh my god.
wow.
Yeah, but there's definitely bears out there.
Unbelievable.
Oh my. Look out over that valley. Look at the size of this place. This is Mammoth Hot Springs.
It looks like sand.
Looks like salt crystals.
Yeah. Oh my god, Utah. It's coming back to haunt us again.
I think we said the phrase, "That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen," several times. It was a long but amazing day.
The next day, we had scheduled the part of the trip that I had most been looking forward to. We got up early and took a horseback ride through the Yellowstone backcountry. Although the previous day was incredible, I knew that we had to see actual wilderness to get the real Yellowstone experience. We're riding horses this morning. It also gave me a chance to wear my new hat and boots. This is super fun. My horse is Samantha. This is Samantha. She's a pretty girl. You got it,
babe. You got it. You got it. You got it.
During our ride, I got to talk to Gwen, our guide, about the ecosystem and the wildlife inside the park. She knew the name of every single flower we passed and the behavior of the bears, porcupine, deer, and all other animals in the area. As we were riding, I noticed burn marks on some of the trees and asked her about it. She reminded me of the 2016 Yellowstone wildfires. More than 70,000 acres were burned that year. It was fascinating to see the secondary succession that had occurred over the last 7 years. Seeing how nature heals itself was really cool for a biology geek.
We'd like to give a shout out to Gwen and her crew at Wilderness Trails Outfitters for an experience we'll never forget. And a special shout out to Timber, who was on his very first trail ride that day. He is a good boy, and he's going to make a great trail guide. Now, if you're ever in the Yellowstone area, make sure you give them a call. After our trail ride, we took a drive through Grand Teton National Park. It was absolutely stunning. I wish we had more time for that park, but we'll just have to go back someday to see the rest of it. It's one of the most beautiful places we've ever seen. If you're going to Yellowstone, make sure you have more time to see it than we did. We only gave ourselves 2.5 days to see this park, and it's way too big for that. Unfortunately, that's kind of the nature of scheduling a trip like this.
Today we're heading towards Seattle on the Pacific Coast. Thanks for watching. See you next time.